a process. You got to debrief and relax and get away from the game. And I think that's where you find the motivation to come back. And it's just a natural process. You go through it, and summer comes in phases. As you start working out and then getting back on the ice, and you start getting together as a team, and things ramp up, and that's when it starts to get exciting.
Kyle, obviously you don't need any introduction to your line mates that you were skating with out there. Just pick up where you left off, kind of just like riding a bike.
Yeah, super excited to get back with those two players. They both look great. You can tell they put in the work. Even the skates coming up to camp, and today they were pushing the pace and it looked great. And it's day one, but I'm excited to build on what we've been doing the last couple of years as a team and as a line.
Obviously, Kyle, when we left in the spring, your contract situation was a subject of discussion. So what can you tell us about where things stand as you start camp here today?
Yeah, really just focus on, myself and being the best player I can, let the business take care of the business. And, all I can do is control how I come to the rink every day. And, that stuff will take care of itself.
What's important to you in that next deal, Kyle?
Like I said, it's I'm not focused on it really. I'm coming here to focus on what I can do to be the best player I can on the ice. So, that's not really on my mind right now.
There's been some reports that one of the things you like about Winnipeg in the area is the outdoors and the sort of community culture the Jets have around that. How have you felt like that relationship to the city and community has grown over your many years here?
It's a great community. Obviously it's a family here. You feel that way right from the beginning. Even opening remarks, Chipman, Chevy, Coach, they're all saying, aren't you saying the same thing? It's, welcome to the family was one of the first things he said. So, we pride ourselves as a community as being a close-knit group, and you can feel that in just the relationships around the room and the people that we brought in here.
We've seen situations, Kyle, where these things have been worked out during camp. Mark and Connor would be two examples, and we have Nikolai last year where obviously nothing got settled and it kind of went through the season. Do you have any preference as to how this plays out, or do you leave that in the hands of your agent?
I don't think there's one way. There's so many different ways something can come together or not. So it's, just kind of leave that to the business side of it.
What does it mean to add a player like Jonathan Taves to the mix?
Yeah, super excited to get a chance to be on the ice with him and during training camp. Obviously, he wasn't in the same group today, but it'll come, and just seeing him and just his presence, even talking to him outside, and the leadership and experience he brings, it's you can't replicate that. And winning 3 cups and having the type of competitor he is, he's going to do everything he can to come back and make an impact, and you can tell he's ramped up and excited to go. Just talking to him, and you get that feel.
One of the changes in the CBA says that I think yesterday was the last day of the last time you guys will have to undergo on-ice testing in training camp. Maybe just your thoughts on that. Is that a big deal to you? Why do you think that was important for players to maybe push for?
I think it stems from last year, a lot of the injuries coming in preseason. A lot of the marquee guys around the league you see, and just trying to limit that in, whatever capacity it could be. And, listen, I don't care whatever it is. I think guys come and put in a lot of work in the off season, and so I think whether there's testing or not, it's not going to change guys, motivation coming in to try to be the best player they can be. And, camps, they ramp up, and nowadays it's pretty much 24/7, 365, being a pro athlete. So I don't think there's a real huge difference. The only thing I would say is, maybe minimizes, takes away completely the chance of getting injury in one of those situations.
Do you have a least favorite part of the fitness testing? Is it the beep test, or?
It is what it is. I couldn't care either way. Yeah.
Mark's season ended last year in heartbreaking form, and he. Some of the guys pointed to you and Josh as guys that could reach out and support and things like that over the course of the summer. What was that reaching out like, and how were you able to offer support?
It's just like anybody kind of throughout the summer. You try to keep in touch with them as much as you can, and just be a friend. I mean, this group's kind of been together for a long time now, and it's we're very comfortable picking up that phone in any situation. I think we pride ourselves as a team as being somebody that you look at the guy next to you in the locker room, and it's an open book. You can, whatever you're feeling, whatever you can, help the other guy with. We're trying to be the best players we can, but also be the best humans we can. It starts with our leadership with Laus, and Josh and Mark are examples of that, and it's just passed down to the chemistry of this team.
Just one last one, Kyle. Eric Comrie was bragging after the Manitoba Open that he technically didn't have the lowest score. I think he's tied with you, but have you pointed out to him that you played a par 71 and he had a par 70?
We've had some good fun with that. Yeah, I don't know what the numbers are, but yeah, it's you know, I didn't have a 10 on a hole either, so I got that one in the back pocket. So it's good though. I mean, it's a great event to be able to just part of the community, and you know, hockey players love golf, and we're competitive as well, and I'm sure he had a great time with that.